Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to make cotton batting using 100% cotton scraps. I accidentally stumbled upon this while trying to make paper, and I realized that this could be very useful for people that didn't quite know what to do with their scraps. The first thing you want to do is cut up your 100% cotton into small pieces. I recommend using a rotary cutter to avoid any scissors being by your fingers, and you put them into a blender and pour water over it. Notice how the concentration of the scraps to the water is quite low. You really only need small quantities, and it's best to do it in small batches just to make sure that the fibers don't get caught around the blender blades. So mix for about a minute, and then you can check to see if the consistency is correct. So what you're looking for, you want to make sure that your fibers are nicely dispersed, as shown in the video. And then you can take your mixture and pour it onto your Deckle and mold. So take your time and try to disperse the fibers as evenly as possible. If your fibers don't fill a particular area, when your batting is done, you'll end up with a small hole. Just take your time and loosen up any fibers that you see, and just try to get it as evenly as possible. So after you've taken some time to evenly distribute the fibers as best as possible, you can then lift the Deckle and mold out of the water and just allow it to drip as much as possible here. So take a piece of felt and place it over your mold and Deckle, and this is just used to press the fibers down. The felt also helps the fibers to not shift very much and to stay in place. Next couple of steps, you're really just trying to work out as much water as possible. The more water that you can work out, you'll increase the density of your batting that you're creating, and so all you're doing is trying to press as much water as possible. It'll also reduce the drying time. Take whatever you have lying around, such as a towel, and just continue to press your batting over and over. You can remove the mold from the Deckle as soon as you feel like you've pressed out enough, and it should hold together pretty nicely. And just continue to press. You'll be surprised at how much water is held in the batting. After a few drying presses, you can see if your batting is starting to take shape, and you can test it. As you can see, the batting is starting to hold together pretty nicely, and you can take your time and remove that mold from the batting as carefully as possible. Now take another piece of felt and just sandwich it in between the other one, and just continue that pressing process. This is pressing the fibers into place so that they can hold nicely together. Pressing your batting as much as possible. You can lay it on a surface to dry. We're just placing this on so that the wind doesn't blow it away. And here is the finished batting. Notice how much it's puffed up. Again, it's surprising that it takes so little of the cotton to actually produce something like this. There are a few voids, but when you sew it together underneath some quilting cotton, those won't really show, and it shouldn't be too uneven, and it's actually fairly thick when it's doubled up, so it's really nice batting. If you guys make some of this, please let me know what the projects you make from it. I'm excited to see that we can reuse some of the pieces that we wouldn't normally use. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you want to see more awesome sewing tips.